What up? Last laugher. That's me. I got the last laugh. Kavari's going. He's going to jail. He's gonna get killed. Somebody's gonna get him. Somebody's gonna do something to him. Cavario, he's a bad guy. He's gonna die soon. Those who made that bet, they're all dead. What's happening? The Dawn 4P, what's going on? House of Sufyan. Government shutdown. Is it official? Sufyan? King Reign official. Thanks for tapping in. Peace and salute to you, brethren. Good Flower Inc. God Flower Inc. What's happening? Thanks for tapping in. Get this hot hour in. You know, not going over an hour no more. No more. So we got a hot 59 seconds, 59 minutes and 54 seconds, 53 seconds. Yeah. Time is moving, man. Where you at, Ty? Where you at? So government shutdown is official? Is it official? Sue? What they doing? Let me see what I can find. I was just looking at some shit where this nigga Ted Cruz, Ted Cruz says, wow, a lot of stuff popping up. The U.S. Navy killed 17 in deadly strikes. Now Venezuela is giving civilians guns. Yeah, your boy is pushing us right where his controllers want him to push us into World War III, so that he does not have to, deal with laws, politics, and all whatever that we just declare martial and leave it at that. But this guy Ted Cruz, what up, Mad Too Real? What's going on? Hey Ty, there you go. I see that you're there, but I don't see you to bring you in, Ty. So this guy, oh, there you go. This guy says, Ted Cruz, he says something like, let me see if I can find it. Senator Ted Cruz advocates for pedophiles. I think Ted had a Freudian slip and said some shit that he was thinking and didn't mean to say.
Republican Senator Ted Cruz was one of the speakers at CPAC, which is kind of unfortunate because he's awkward and makes people uncomfortable, but a little bit fortunate because he's fun to laugh at. So without further ado, let's watch the first clip of him saying something that's so ridiculous, incompetent, and hilarious.
The Chinese communists and Elizabeth Warren, they both want to control you. Your assets, your savings, your speech, your life.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Every decision they want to control.
This is some other wild shit.
Break up the means of controlling the citizenry. I want an unruly, uncontrollable American, we the people.
Man, listen. This dude's an idiot, bro.
Oh, that's
dude's an idiot. Some of the dumbest people in the fucking world are running this thing here. This thing.
It's people like Ted Cruz.
People have relinquished. I'm trying to bring you in, Ty. I don't know what's going on. People have come to some conclusion at some point long ago. A lot of people inherited this misconception. What's happening? What's going on, bro? What's up, son?
What's that?
Yo, this nigga crazy nigga said. What's poppin'? Enter from stage left. Well, I know it's actually like it looked like stage right, but to me it looked like stage left from your side. What's going on? What's happening, son?
Good, man.
Good. So I was just talking about this motherfucker Ted Cruz, right? This nigga said some shit. Ted Cruz advocates it was a CPAC. He spoke at CPAC. Nah, advocates to stop attacking pedophiles. Ted Cruz says, stop attacking pedophiles, bro. Now this guy has pushed all kinds of shit about going after pedophiles, shit like that.
Senator Booker also said we should have bipartisan agreement. I think that's a great idea. We should have bipartisan agreement. How about we all come together and say, let's stop murders? How about we all come together and say, let's stop rape? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
Now, understand something. When people are talking, right, and they had stuff like this, they have notes if they don't have a teleprompter. And when they want to make sure that they're saying or making the point they want to make, they'll look at their notes. Now, watch him. Watch him.
Stop rape. How about we all come together
See him
and
looking
say,
down?
Stop attacking
See him looking down?
pedophiles. I want you to look at what happened with the
You
national
see what
files.
he was looking at it. He was reading what he had
How about we
written.
all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles? I want you to look at what happened when the National Guard went to D.C. Robbery fell by 57%.
Yeah, he's full of shit. Full of shit. Y'all don't understand that there are absolute fucking criminals running this motherfucking country of ours. Okay? For real. Don't believe anything any of them say. They're all liars. They're all crooks. And a great many of them are pedophiles and other types of predators and shit. So, yeah. Y'all better tighten up. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, y'all better tighten up. You better figure some shit out. So what's happening, son? What's going on? We're gonna do this hour thing. Did you see the text that I sent you with the analytics and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna do this hour thing, and that's it. I'm never going over an hour ever again. It's never gonna happen. Never again. So when I do this, that means we got 20. When I do that means we got 10. This is wrap that shit the fuck up. Which, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, fuck this bullshit. Fuck wasting our time and our energy and all type of shit between these non-supportive, inactive motherfucking brain dead ass motherfucking people on this app and the app itself doing everything it can to undermine anything that is productive or progressive or encourages people to think or pay attention, which is exactly what we do. Now, we was on some fuck shit. If he's on here talking about some bullshit like that bullshit, the dude with the look like a Sharpay in the face, fat dude to be yelling and hitting that obnoxious ass horn, ugly money or whatever this shit is, whatever.
Yeah.
And he had the broad on there. You DM'd me the clip where the broad was talking about I'm a professional dick sucker. Like, what the fuck? What you say? And then right behind that, I go to schools and talk to kids. Bitch, who kid you talking to all that crap on your breath? If you don't get the fuck out of here, if I ever find out that she's anywhere near any motherfucking school, I'm calling the police. The fuck? Are you kidding me? This is fucking madness, man. This whole fucking society is madness, man. If you as an individual are not about tightening up yourself, then you ain't about shit. You ain't about shit, because the world has always been crazy and has always been progressing more and more towards crazy. And when I mean progressing towards it, I mean more and more making what is crazy normal, not crazy anymore. And so if you as an individual are not doing whatever you can to maintain your sanity and your saneness, then you're part of the fucking problem. You're going along to get along. You're part of the problem. There are so many people in positions of influence and power and who have the ability to push whatever the fuck comes to their mind that if people don't start taking self-responsibility, you're just going to be swept away on the wave of stupid. And this is some, I find this interesting because when I was like, I guess early 20s, like early, like 20, 21, it occurred to me that most people didn't have any particular direction as it related to morals and ethics and what they would and would not do. And I didn't know that as a younger person. And the reason I didn't know that was because I came up in a structure that, albeit deemed a criminal structure, it was still a structure, right? And it was very, very strict, right? So there were definite do's and definite don'ts. You know what I mean? Like you don't lie unless it's to save your fucking life, to avoid death or to avoid life, right? You don't steal. I'm talking, this is growing up in a gangster home. You don't lie unless it's about life or death, because other than that, you're a coward. You're afraid of dealing with the consequences. Now, if you're in the judicial system or you're facing down a gun and you're not, and the motherfucker got the drop on you, if you need to lie to get out of that, then you use your survival instincts and you get out of that. And my mother used to say, if a motherfucker pull a gun on you, he took your life, whether he uses it or not. But if he doesn't use it, then he gave you your life to make sure that you don't make the same motherfucking mistake, right? Like, as ethically or morally, as far as the broader society is concerned, as morally questionable as that is, what I came to understand is that no system, whether it's above board or below board, no system can exist without structure, without rules, And that what I began to recognize as a young man is that society at large, regular everyday people, that's probably more the case now, what I'm about to say. But regular everyday people didn't, on large mass, didn't really have structure from where they come from, the families they come from. They didn't have, there was no real like hard like do's and don'ts and shit like that. Not really. You know what I mean? You assume because of your own circumstances what's happening in your house. You assume that's what's happening in everybody's house. Just like I assumed in everybody's house that their mothers had guns. I assumed everybody's mother had a gun. I assumed that whatever the circumstances of my life were the circumstances of everybody else. Because what else would I have to relate to or pull from except my own experience, right? So I just assumed that everybody had like some sort of hard structure to their upbringing. By the time I was 21, I realized a lot of the conflict that I was having, whether it was extreme or just mediocre every day, around your friends or common associates, the kind of conflict where you be like, yo, like, what the fuck, niggas? Like, what the fuck is you on, nigga? Like, what you fucking get that? How you even like this? And it was because I came from such a strict structure because of the potential consequences of the lifestyle we came from. It's like if you're raising your child in this structure, this gangster structure, this criminally oriented structure, you're dealing with severe consequences. This is not about you might get suspended from school. This is not about, you might catch a truancy charge. This is not about, you might be excused from the church choir. This is nigga, you could lose your life or lose your freedom. So I come from a structure that was dealing with extremes. So everything about what I was being given was about being able to contend with the situations that might result in these extremes that were a part of our everyday reality. So my perspective on do's and don'ts was far more stringent, far more serious than my average peer who comes from a regular home, regular people that have like regular concerns. You know what I'm saying? And so they were a lot more fluid in their, morals and ethics. They'd lie about anything at any point just because. But the situation I came up in, lying could cost you your fucking life. It could cost you your life, period. And I was made to understand that very, very early. So in the time since that time, this almost 40 years, I have observed how things have gotten more, in terms of the general public, gotten more like fluid, like any fucking thing goes and anything is acceptable, whatever. And I don't think it's because I have matured over that time to pay more attention. Because if you pay more attention, you notice more things. It doesn't mean that the things you're noticing are new things. It just means that you are paying more attention and seeing more of what has always been, right? There's a bit of that because human beings have always been the way they've been. There's no new species of human beings. We've been the same motherfuckers for the past couple of 100,000 years. You know what I mean? So what we have done is what we've always done because it's within our nature, within our makeup, right? Within the thing that operates us, which is this brain. But what I feel now, what I believe now, what I perceive now is that we have reached a point of maximum saturation. Like think of it like a sponge. You can wipe up a spill here and maybe a little more over here. And this part of the corner over here is on the corner of the sponge is dry, so I can get up that little bit. But at a certain point, the fucking sponge becomes so saturated with water, liquid, whatever, that although it's still a sponge, it can no longer do what it's supposed to do. It can no longer absorb the liquid. It has to be squoze out. That liquid has to be released so that it can, again, be able to do what it does, which is absorb the liquid. I think that this society, with all of the things that have always been, there's always been depravity, there's always been criminality, there's always been antisocial behavior, sociopathic behavior, psychopathic behavior, there's always been, these crazy fucking things that human beings do. I think that society has become maximally saturated. And I don't even know if maximally is a real word, but it serves a purpose. With all of this human behavior, and I don't think that I don't think it can be absorbed anymore, and that's why I think it's starting to spill out everywhere. All the amoral, all of this dysfunctional behavior, whatever, it's spilled out into everything, virtually into everybody. And if you're not an individual that is capable or willing to take personal responsibility, regardless of whatever is going on in society, what you're seeing constantly on your social media feed, what you're picking up from your news feeds, what you're seeing on your TV shows or movies or whatever, regardless of how common destructive behavior is, that you say, I'm not participating. I don't think that there's any other salvation for us as a society except for individual responsibility, despite how unpopular you being individualistic is, meaning you being you. And nah, I don't do that type of shit. I ain't on that type of shit y'all on, whatever. Man, everybody do this shit, whatever. Yeah, everybody but me, motherfucker. Everybody but me. I believe that if there isn't a movement of autonomous thinking, critically thinking, autonomously moving people, that will facilitate a total collapse of this society. That's what I believe. And I don't know whether there's enough autonomously operating, critically thinking people to avoid that. But if that means that, you know, you just gonna have to, we have to go down, you know, with the ship. You know, I'm gonna go down with the ship. If I'm on the ship, I'm gonna go down with the ship. And I'm not able to escape the ship, I'm gonna go down with the ship. But I'm gonna go down with the ship as my motherfucking self, as me, and not as part of this mindless group of robotic sheep monkeys, robo schmonkeys. Fuck that. I'm not having that. I'm not seeing my children have that. I'm not seeing my children's children have that. You know, and I don't actually think that being self-responsible, being self-determining, operating autonomously, and thinking critically is going to make those of us who move that way be as susceptible to the negative and destructive things that are happening and going to continue to happen, as I don't think we're going to be as susceptible to it as others who are not on that, you know, who are not self-responsible, who are not self-determining. I don't think we're going to, even in the midst of all that is happening and will happen, I think that what ultimately matters, which is our mental state, I think that even if we're standing next to somebody who is completely, you know, or the mass of somebodies who will completely be fucked up because they have no wherewithal whatsoever. And when the shit hits the fan, they're gonna be standing right in front of it, looking into the motherfucker, going, what's that? What's going on? You know what I mean? And, you know what I'm saying? And we might be standing right next to them, might even get a little on us, but we're not gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna go, we're gonna be like this. Is what it is. But good. I'm good. I'm not going to be in a hell in my own mind like the robo schmonkeys will. They'll be in a hell in their own fucking mind, which is why niggas better be armed with guns and bullets, because these motherfuckers are going to need some regulating. Real talk. For real, for real. And we got 37 minutes. For real. So I'm not fucking with these people on some real shit. You know what I'm saying? You motherfuckers don't support. You don't really do what you do. Hey, where the fuck is Ed? Yo, Ed, where you at, Ed?
It was just
Where you at?
there. I don't know where he
Yeah,
at.
Jay Wed. I see Jay Wed. It's all good, Jay Wed. He said, how's it going? What up, Mini Bob 30? What's happening with you? Venezuela is the last country that couldn't completely corrupt. That's right. That's right. That's right. Oh, it's flipping. The script is mad flipping on it. It's flipping on their motherfucking ass. You know. Curtis Penn 91, man. Thanks for tapping in with us, man. Hulk Smash 55. What's good? I've never seen you in live before. Appreciate you joining us. Hope you get something out of this. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't know, do a little station break. You know what I'm saying? I'm Cavario H, aka the Mind Plug. I'm a former gangster, hustler, and you know, card carrying, 2-gun carrying motherfucking, you know, member of the underground, the real underground. You know, not no rap shit. Not a rapper. I'm not AI. I'm actual, real, and genuine. I'm the real motherfucking thing. I created a magazine called Don Diva Magazine. If you're not familiar with that, it is actually where BET's American Gangster Series. That's it. They just took all the shit out of my magazine and put it on the show. You know, shout out to Nelson George, you thieving motherfucker. But I'm not mad at you. Like you did what I was going to do prior to realizing that the people with whom I was doing that publication didn't have any real regard or value for what the fuck I was doing. They were all concerned about their own motherfucking egos and positions and people's minds. But time tells all things, does it not? I'm also co-founder or founding senior editor of Hip Hop Weekly, which was the #1 hip hop publication in the country for quite a while. I started that with Benzino, who is the guy who came up with the concept of transitioning the whole OK Weekly, Us Weekly, you know, the motherfucking magazines y'all see with the white people on them at the checkout lines. But you used to see it. I don't really see them like that no more. But he thought to adapt that to the hip hop culture, and it was fucking brilliant. So him and Dave Mays, you know, they's like, yo, we doing this. It brought me in whatever. It's like a month after I stopped doing Don Diva. Okay, I've written several books. This is my third book, Old Gangsters and Young Guns, and this is my first book, Raised by Wolves, my autobiography. These are available on my website, www.themindplugacademy.com, and that is my son, Ty Mills. Ty Mills is a professional comedian and an all-around excellent motherfucking human being. He is my son. I am proud of him, and he is a great father. He is a real stand-up motherfucking man, you know what I mean? And any man would be proud to have him as their son, you know? Love you, man.
Love you too, Pop.
You know, but it's like, I need y'all to understand that what we do here, man, this is not your garden variety bullshit, you know? This is not a bunch of shit, you know, motherfuckers talking just to be talking. You know, we're here to be of service, you know, and to bring something of value forward. There's too many people just get, I mean, you got 10 million shows and motherfuckers got people coming in there talking about sucking dick and eating ass and, you know, riding by people they don't know and shooting at them and all type of dumb shit. Like if somebody don't do something in the opposite direction, like, fuck you think is gonna happen to us? You know? I'm gonna say one more thing, Ty. And I was talking to a homie of mine, my man Moet. Some people know him as Moet. Some people know him as Pierre. They're aliases. But his brother is OG Mac, the one who really brought the blood thing to the East Coast and got, you know, the little homie Pistol Pete on the blood gang shit, whatever, right? And that's how Sex Money Murder, which was our crew, got turned into a blood gang or became a blood set. We never became bloods, but Pete turned it to that. I was talking to Gary. His name is Gary Moore. Yeah. I was talking to him the other day, and he's just been home. He did like 19 and a half years. You know, caught a kingpin charge, conspiracy charge, whatever. You know, he beat it. But I was talking to him, just kind of bring him up to speed. He's doing all right. He's been home for a couple of years. I try to bring him up to speed on what's going on out here in the world beyond nigga shit, right? Because, you know, he came home, got his shit together, whatever. His wife is well employed and, you know, stable, whatever, and it helps a nigga assimilate. You know, you come out here and get with a ghetto girl, you're probably not gonna get very far. You come out here and get with a girl who's, you know, been working and been establishing herself, and you coming home, you touch down, you got a strong foundation. You can build on that if you're about your business. So he's about his business. So, you know, he went grabbed a BM in a Cherokee, I think, like a Range or something like that, whatever, you know, doing the things that niggas do that always was part of their identity. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how I represent to the world. You know, this is my presentation of, you know, saying, you know, yeah, I'm all right. You know what I mean? But I explained to him, I said, you know, that right there is a trick that really fucked us all up in the street, no matter how much we made. That consumer mindset shit, you know, being consumers, you know, living for consumption. So I showed him a couple of things. I showed him three things. I showed him the list of where we stand on the financial ladder, right? I said, this is where we stand on the financial ladder. So I shared this with him. And I've shared this before with people on this platform, but I wanted, you know, to make sure that it stays in people's minds. Now, you see that this is the list. This is a median household income in the United States, right, by ethnic group, right? So you got the Indian Americans at the top at 100,500 a year, right? You got the Filipinos, they're at 83,000. You got the Taiwanese, they're at 82.5. You got the Sri Lankans. Those are Indians, you know, from India, 74,600. You got the Japanese, 72.3. You got the Malaysians, 70,000. You got the Chinese, 69,000. You got the Pakistanis, 66,000. And firstly, you got to understand, there's something about these groups right here. There's something that's common amongst these groups. You know what's common amongst these groups? What's common amongst these groups, son? Do you know?
They got families and communities and businesses.
That's right. That's exactly right. These are all the business owning groups in all of the communities around this country. They're the ones that own all the hair stores, the clothing stores, the corner stores, the supermarkets. They do a lot of they go into communities that have a high concentration of their own people, and then they specialize in providing them with all of the fare that they would be consuming if they were home, right? So they open Malaysian markets, Japanese markets, Chinese markets, Pakistani markets, Filipino markets, and they got that on lock because they have the connections back at home, back in their countries, that they're able to get these different fruits and vegetables and different things that these people are accustomed to consuming back where they come from. So they're able to lock in with certain things because they have community. They have community, right? They're not caught up in the same type of consumption identity, thing that Americans have going on, even white Americans. They're not caught up in that. So they don't consume to validate themselves. They don't have to show you, like, they'll come to the gas station in an old beat up raggedy ass car, all that, whatever. And even though people know they own the gas station, the fact that they don't flaunt their wealth kind of just gets past. You see them wearing flip flops and chancletas and shit like that. And people just don't register. Americans just don't register how well these people are doing because they don't wear it on their person. They just secure themselves and they build, they have, they can build back in their countries. They can take, the money from here. And I'm hesitant what's happening to the dollar, but, they're able to send some dollars, they'll send $10,000 back to their countries, and in their country that'll buy them, acres and acres and acres and acres and acres and acres of land and all kinds of shit. They build whole complexes. They might be living 10, 15 to a house, here, but back home, they got a whole town that they own. You dig? And so then you got way down here, white Americans at 59.9. So you got all of these people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 9 down the list. You got white people, right? Then you got Koreans, you got Indonesians, you got the average Americans. So the Koreans are at 59 to just a few $100s shy of what the white Americans are. You got the Indonesians at 57.5. Now this is average Americans. So this is a conglomeration of, I guess, all of these groups, on average, I guess, and I'm still trying to really figure that out, what the average American designation actually means, right? But they say that the average American represents this degree of the population. 28%. So they're saying 28% of Americans are at about 56,000 a year in terms of median household income, right? The percentage of population I'm sorry, this is for percentage of population with a bachelor's degree. So that's just side information that associates income level with what do you call education level? Because there is a correlation between income or education and income, right? So then you have Thai Americans and Bangladeshi Americans and Nepali Americans and Hispanics. And then all the way down here at the very, very, very bottom, you got African Americans. At the very bottom, African Americans averaging 35,000 a year household median income, right? Now, when you contrast where we are in the earnings with where we are in the spending, then you really see why we are let me show you this first. Let me see. No, that's a literacy rate. Oh, no, that's another nasty statistic. Um, so the median wealth of black households is currently at $18,430. So that's significantly less than that last report, right? And no, I wanted to show you before I show y'all this. I wanted to show y'all this. How much are African Americans? Such a bullshit term, African Americans. African Americans spend annually. Okay. African Americans spend over 1 trillion annually on goods and services, with projections indicating that this figure could reach approximately 1.98 trillion by 2025. Right? That's now. This spending reflects their significant consumer power. That is not power, that's behavior. Consumer behavior. It's not power if it doesn't empower you. If you consume to the point where you're disempowered, then it's not power. It's power. We consume, they get the power. We consume, they get the power. You understand? Like, one second, I'll just fuck this habit. So, despite facing systemic financial challenges that limit wealth accumulation. So, this spending reflects their significant consumer power despite facing systemic financial challenges that limit wealth accumulation. Now, what kind of sense does that make? If we're the least money-making people, how come we spend more money than every fucking body else? And what would that ultimately lead to? Where would that ultimately fucking lead us if this is our behavior? Right? So annual spending for African Americans, total spending, 2024 projection, African American spending power is expected to reach 1.8 trillion. 2025 projection, this figure projected to grow approximately to 1.98 trillion. We break down what they're spending their money on. We spend $10.2 billion a year on beauty products. We spend $101.9 billion in groceries. We don't own any beauty product stores though. Not to any great degree. Like there's no large community of black owned beauty products. You know, there might be a few beauty products out there, whatever, that are black owned, but that's not a thing amongst us. Grocery stores, we spend $101.9 billion on groceries. We don't own grocery stores. Those people at the top of that list, these people, they own grocery stores. We don't own grocery stores. So, you know, who do you think is benefiting from that behavior? Media consumption, that's movies, TV shows, magazines, shit like that. Average of 84 hours a week. We spend an average of 84 hours a week looking at TV, looking at movies, on social media, shit like that, right? And our overall consumer spending, this is where the $1.8 trillion annually that we spend. That we spent last year, 2024, this is what we spent it on. And they even break down like how much liquor motherfucking bought. Like how much we spent on liquor. We spent like $36 billion on fucking liquor.
Oh, because niggas gotta buy bottles.
The fuck? And we gotta overpay for them because that's the only way we feel good about ourselves. We gotta overpay for it. You think I got no money? Think I got no money? You know what I mean? Like, these are the things that we need to be paying attention to. Otherwise, you motherfuckers are failing your children. I met a young lady in the supermarket night before last. And the conversation started because I had picked up some strawberries. And I was like, when I rang it, it said, $5.79. I said, wait, this said $4.29 over there. She said, oh, you got the organic ones. I said, oh, yeah. She said, you want to take them back and get them? I said, nah, I'm a vegan. I don't eat inorganic shit or whatever. She said, oh, excuse me. I said, yeah, you know, I mean, you know, I got one body. I got to take care of it. You know what I'm saying? I can't trade this bitch in for something else. You know what I mean? So she says, Yeah. I said, and I'm an organic farmer because we are an organic farm. Sure. Oh. So why you not eating your strawberries? I didn't say I was a strawberry farmer, right? So she said, that's with Juice Team Media. That's right. I am mellow. So I said, I'm yeah, I'm an organic farmer, but I didn't say I don't grow strawberries. Not yet. Anyway. She said, so you grow like eggs and stuff. This 35-year-old woman with 3 children. The oldest is 19. Grow eggs? Firstly, I said I'm vegan. So why would I be anywhere near eggs? Eggs come from chickens. And this is not to down her at all. And I spoke to her plainly and straight, like I do.
It's just to acknowledge the social level at which she was at and to see what she's in charge of, to know that if she's malnourished in information, those kids are fucking dying.
And that's exactly what the fuck I told her. But not like straight like that. Like I informed her with certain points, and those points, once she assimilated those points, the only thing you can conclude if you add that point, which she understood, to that point, which she understood, to that point, which you understood, then you understand if you add these 3 understandings together, they equate to you are suffering from a severe deficit of information. And if you are suffering from a severe deficit of information, the severity of that lack will be greater in your children. This is exactly what I was saying on Thursday when I was talking about motherfuckers with this view. That would be her children because her view is this. And without meeting her parents, I know their view is just this. This is what I'm talking about. Our people like to act as though none of this shit matters. Nothing matters. And not knowing, not understanding, not having a practical understanding about anything doesn't matter. I explained to her, when she said, oh, I don't know nothing about farming, whatever, this and the other. When I told her, I said, chickens make eggs and eggs are, not something that vegans would be doing, whatever. And she realized like, oh, I must sound crazy or whatever. And I was like, nah, you don't know these things because they haven't been pertinent to your existence. You don't need to know them. You don't need to. Right? But the thing is, you were not aware of the fact that you didn't know these things. As far as you knew, you know these things because you're aware of the word farm. And you're aware in a general way that stuff is grown on farms. But you don't really know anything about farms at all.
She know Old McDonald had a farm and Bingo was his name, Bingo. And on his farm he had some chickens and some ducks and some quack, some quack here. He ain't never say what he was growing on the farm. That wasn't the part of the song.
Son, you hit right on something, bro. See, when you fill in people's blanks, that is their lack of knowledge. When you fill in their blanks with something, in the absence of the nothing that was there before the something, they now think they know something. They don't ever think to check the quality of the knowing, the quality of information. That something as simple as that song serves to fill in a space about a thing, in this instance, a farm, to the point where people are like, yeah, and everybody's heard that song, right? So everybody has the average person has the same general misconception that they know something about farms that they don't fucking know. I said to her, she works with a bunch of kids, like a bunch of like 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds, whatever, this and the other, right? And she says, I said, don't feel badly about not knowing, and don't feel badly about thinking that you knew something that you've never been challenged on before to be aware of, oh my God, I have a extreme deficit in this space. Like I didn't know that I was so ignorant about this stuff. That's the average person about everything, virtually everything. I explained to her that most people only know what they need to know in order for them to do the job that they've been given. Most people outside of their everyday daily function are not competent. I said, if everybody in this space you're working with, if all of them have the same degree of a general idea about something, no one's in position to challenge anybody's idea. So as far as anybody's concerned, we all know. If you're not, this is what the whole adage of steel sharpens steel comes from. This is what it's about. This is what it's trying to convey. If you're not in the presence of people who can potentially challenge you, challenge your ideas, challenge your thinking, then there's a very good chance that you don't know what you think you fucking know. Real talk. And people might say, well, it don't matter. You know, I know how to get up. I know how to get to work on time. I know how to, pull the lever or lift the box or do the thing, whatever. Yeah, that's cool. All that's cool. Until it's not. Remember, change is constant. So the circumstance that you were prepared for as you were getting ready to go out and get yourself a job, whatever, the circumstance you were preparing for to be ready for, whatever, by the time you got prepared and got ready and got in a position, it had already changed. You were already outdated. You were already obsolete. They just hadn't come up with a efficient way of replacing you yet. People who understand that in the foulest way are the people who went to the Walmart, I forgot where it is, the Walmart, that they went in there one day and everybody was fired because they had these robots and everything is moving nonstop, no breaks, no lollygagging, no time wasting, constant movement, things going where they need to go, getting placed where they need to get placed so they can ship out whatever, you know. And the guys who drive the trucks, they're sitting around looking at the guys who would normally load their trucks going, damn, that's fucked up. And they worked y'all up out of here. Not understanding that the change is constant and pervasive. So you're going to come in one day and, all those cameras they got on your ass, those cameras are to train the AI that's going to replace your ass driving that truck. I don't know what people are going to fucking do. I don't know what they're going to do. But in a short time, these corporations are not going to need them at all. Everything they engage with at work is teaching the thing that's going to replace them how to do their job. And they just sit around thinking, somebody's going to make sure I'm okay. Yeah, they got plans. They have plans. They got plans. I wish I could get into really telling people about it, but it's fucking pointless. Pearl before fucking swine. That's what it is. And if you're offended by that, that's a good thing. If you're offended by what I just said, that means you're not one of the motherfuckers I'm talking about. Because the motherfuckers I'm talking about didn't even understand what the fuck I just said. So, like, shit is serious, bro. And this is why I refuse to waste, hours on this shit, whatever. We just hit 49 minutes. Yeah. So we got 11 motherfucking minutes, and it is what it is. So, that's where I'm at with it, son. Like, what are your thoughts on these things? You have a different perspective. You have a different angle on things, whatever, and you deal with a different demographic of people or whatever. Like, where's your perspective on these things that I'm expressing concern about?
You wrong. Every black woman on internet makes $100,000 or more. They all make six figures. And these niggas ain't making no money. These niggas need to make six figures because they not paying no bills. And the woman that makes six figures ain't trying to go 50-50. Because if I could pay 100%, why would I pay 50%? Like, that don't even make sense. They're like, why would she do that? Like, nigga, you wrong. You just wrong. You don't know. You don't know what you're talking about. You gotta,
Okay.
yeah.
That's how you feel. That's how you feel. Goddamn. Oh shit. So that's where the head at. Is
Yeah,
that where the head is? Word.
you wrong. And
Mm.
what you want them to do? What should they do then? People be confrontational when you tell them information, and it's like, so I got to do something different. So what to do? What you know the answers is like, I don't know the answers, but I know what you're doing. That's not going to work continuously. That's you got to do something different. Something change is coming, nigga. So I'm just warning you about the change.
Bruh. And what you're saying is true now. In terms of a person saying, well, what to do? What to do? And what I would say to that is start reprioritizing your time and attention. Because whatever you have in your head now, it's only going to take you as far as it's gotten you. So if you're not where it is you exactly want to be, you're going to need more information. If you're not making a conscious and deliberate effort to acquire the information, then you will not get more of it. And if you don't get more of it, like gas in the car, you're going to be right where you are because what you currently know has gotten you to where you are. So if you want to move on from where you are, you're going to have to acquire more information. I mean, information is how you got to there. And nobody can promise anybody that this is going to happen if you do that, and that's going to happen if you do this. But interestingly and contrastingly, it's not hard to tell somebody what is likely to happen if they don't do something. And what's likely to happen if you don't do something about your deficit of information is that you're going to fail, and you're going to fail the people you love. They're going to fail the people you claim to care about. That I can almost guarantee. Even if you were to get quote unquote lucky and hit the number, hit the lotto, most people that hit the lotto blow the money. They blow the money because they got more money than they do information as to what you do with money, how to further it, expand it, build it, increase it.
They don't highlight that part. They don't highlight that 75% of the NBA or the NFL, them niggas go broke after they do all of that shit. They don't, because they don't highlight that the failure part, then niggas just know niggas got money, and they look at you and they be like, you got money forever. Like, they look at Run DMC, they like, nigga, you still got the Adidas money and the Run D. They think the money lasts for, you just was on TV, so you just got paid again. They just gave you another. Niggas don't have no concept of anything, so they just believe whatever. And then you gotta live out the whatever they believe, or you fucked up. You fucked up, or you dead wrong, or you ain't shit, or you fell off because you not living up to their fantasy in their fucking head.
Those kind of concepts that you just pointed out, the concept of you had this money, you made this money back in 1985, 1995, or 2005, and 20 years later, you got to be good because, well, I don't know how money works, so I assume that when you get money, once you get a certain amount of money, the money just kind of let it sit there, and then the money fornicates and impregnates itself and just magically produces more money. As ridiculous as that sounds, it's the unspoken, unspecified idea that a lot of people operate on, even because, again, people think they know things that they never actually took the time to find out. They didn't go and take a financial literacy course, read any books on financial literacy, know anybody who was financially literate that could mentor them. So the ideas that the average person has are just things that they kind of made up based upon some superficial observation, and said, yeah, I think that's how that works. And the person tried to say, well, no, this is actually how it works. No, 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 no. I got it figured out. I'm comfortable with the idea that I made up in my head based on nothing. And I don't want you screwing with my discomfort. So basically, they're more interested in being comfortable than they are in being informed. You think, is that an accurate statement, do you think?
Mm-hmm.
People are more
Yes.
comfortable. They're more like interested in comfort than information.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think there's any salvation in that. We had 56 minutes, so we got 4 minutes. Yeah, I just I don't want to be a part of that. I don't even want proximity to it. I don't want that near me. I don't want to be by it. I don't want it by me. I'm concerned that it'll infect me by osmosis. I don't want it by me.
Like zombie shism, like, oh, you're gonna be a zombie
Yep,
too.
yep, yep. I don't want it. I don't want it. And I mean, that's essentially what it is. I mean, people are essentially zombies. People they'll do things just because, well, enough people did it. Like people who took them shots, and they didn't think in their head they should. They didn't want in their heart to do it. So why'd you do it? Oh, my mother and my brother, and you, this one and that one, whatever, whatever. Okay, they're people. They can make their own decisions, whatever, whatever. How you got them making your decisions for you? I mean, a decision that goes against what you inherently wanted to do, because that's what people do. People go along to get along. People don't think.
People still going to get them shots.
They didn't deserve what they get. They deserve what they get. Deserve it.
You can
You
still
know,
go to the doctor and get a COVID shot right now.
bro, like me and my wife were talking about this. We got 2 minutes left. Me and my wife were talking about this the other day, right? I'm not going to say the particular, like the people to whom we were referring, but we're referring initially to a young man who is about 14 years old, who didn't like the line of questioning he was receiving from his mother, and he pushed her, and she fell down, and her glasses came off, and she was like, "Yo, you and your father gotta get the fuck out of my house." Right now, how the father got caught up in it is, the father, unlike the kid, is hyper, very hyper, not aggressive, but he's hyper and doesn't have much self-control, but he's a smart kid. So he's intelligent. And just so people understand, intelligence is merely the ability to learn. That's what intelligence is. Intelligence is not what you know. It's the fact or the factor that determines how efficient you are at learning.
You can watch
That's what
somebody do
intelligence is.
something and then you can know it.
I
You
mean,
can watch
there's
somebody
some
fix a
people.
car and you like, oh,
There's some people
I
who
know how
have
to
that
do it.
kind of
I seen
intelligence.
somebody, yeah.
There's some people
I'm
who
like
have
that.
that
I
kind
can
of
watch somebody
intelligence.
do something and
Oh,
I'm
I was
like,
going to say, you're like that. You were fixing the speakers and shit in the motherfucking house, and you were 5 fucking years old, out of nowhere. I was like, the fuck? Little nigga took this shit apart. What the fuck are you doing? And to you, it was like, oh, just put it together. I was like, oh shit, this nigga's an engineer. I didn't go, what the fuck are you doing, whatever. Right? I was like, this motherfucker's an engineer. Right? So when a person like this young man and his father, who I know both, they're intelligent, yeah, they're intelligent, but they got no good sense. They got no good sense, man. They are the representation of the majority of people, of most people. Like most people are, and I mean, it's a kind of a Morpheus statement to say most people because I don't know most people, but I guess most people I've encountered showed signs of intelligence, meaning teachability, the ability to learn something, whatever. But what they lacked was, we just hit the hour mark. What they lacked was common sense. So, or good sense, common sense, whatever. So if
Practical
you have,
sense.
right, practical sense. So if you have the intellect that you can learn something, but you don't have the practical sense to know how to apply what you've learned, that's a problem. But if you are not made aware of that problem, if there's no one around that can help you identify that disparity between having the information and knowing how to practically apply the information, you'll never be aware of the conflict. And again, most people are around other people who are like that. So there's no check and balance. Everybody is swag, swag. Everybody's in this unconscious, ebb and flow with each other. So when somebody like me or you comes along and we're like, what y'all doing? They're looking at us going, what you doing? How come you're not doing this? This nigga crazy, bro. Everybody else doing this and you not doing it. Something's wrong with you. And under certain circumstances, people like that will kill people like us. It happens all throughout society. What you mean the earth is round? Heretic. Burn her at the stake. I'm going to close my, what I got to share with this, man. And I guess that's what I started out with. Take individual responsibility for yourself. Fuck what somebody else ain't doing. You're concerned about that influencing what you do and actually don't do, or actually do and don't do, is not about you being smart. It's about you being coward. About you not having a sufficient degree of self-esteem to see value in your individual ideation, your individual thinking. You don't believe in your internal compass. You think you're playing it safe by going along to get along. But you're actually being very reckless with this one life that you got. Listen to me now, but you're going to believe me later on. Right, son?
Yep. For damn sure.
So that's my piece. We had 1:03, hour and 3 minutes, and I don't want to go, not me, I don't want to go a fucking second further, man. You want to say anything?
I
You say something wild. He had to fight the
definitely
impulse.
had to fight the urge. I definitely had to fight the urge. I was talking earlier and I was coming up with a concept. I was like, we gotta stop putting so much pressure on these women because men always talk about women body count and what a woman will do with their vagina. And I'm like, if we own vaginas, it'd be fucked up. If niggas have vaginas, it'd be a lot of niggas with a stank vagina. It'd be a lot of stank vagina having ass niggas. And then, nigga, you talking about how a woman, like, you'll be a stank coochie nigga. Like, stop judging that woman for what she do, man. Your coochie was stank, nigga. Like, leave them women alone, man. Your coochie stank, nigga. Look around. Your homeboy, he musty, his coochie stank.
I should have just ended it.
It's a lot of responsibility having that, sitting on that thing. So, you know what I'm saying?
But that's true. It is true, though. That's true. It's just fucking true. And I do believe that a lot of niggas be running around with stink pussies. Like, for real, for real. I do.
Definitely do.
I do. I really do. Know niggas like I know niggas. I just want to shout out everybody that tapped in and shit before we tap out. My man Trey Oxendine, our brother who was always here, always down, always with us, whatever. I thought Ed was gonna pop in with us tonight. I don't know what happened. Ed has never missed one. So
He was
Trey
there. I see
Oxendine,
it.
I didn't see him. I didn't see him at all. He
He
said
was
he's gonna
there.
go with us. He said he's gonna go live with us or whatever, but I didn't see.
I
I didn't see
I didn't know
nothing.
he was gonna go
He had a
live,
mess.
but
He
I
had a
seen
message
him.
for the people too. Let me see. So we got J558633. Thanks for tapping in, Jay. Um, and you
That's
too,
his.
Trey.
That's
Thank you,
his
bro.
JID number.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
JC4 count.
That's fucked up. It's guaranteed somebody is doing that, using that shit on social media as they like name, guaranteed, because niggas is attracted to just some of the dumbest shit.
I mean, it's
Jay,
the trauma. You was identified. You might have had that as your identification for like 7, 8 years, 9 years.
that's
Now you
true.
like, I wanna do something else with it. Like I wanna, you know,
It's mine.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's me.
it belongs to me.
Yeah.
Fuck. God. JR809 LES, what's happening down in the lower east, JR? AJ89 Strive, thanks for tapping in with us tonight, man. That's right, Trey Oxendine said. Neely Fuller said it in his book. We just want to feel good. Yeah, I mean, it's understandable, a lot of trauma, a lot of bad history or whatever, but, you got to raise the standard for what makes you feel good. You want to feel good because you are good, or you want to feel good because you look good and people think you're good because of the way you look? Would you like to feel good even when nobody can see you? Something to think about. Divine Kinetic, thanks for tapping in. Baltimore History Channel, what's going on, family? John H. Casper, thanks for tapping in, John. Cito Kane, what's going on, Cito Kane? Appreciate you for tapping in. We popping, son. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am Mellow. Thank you as always, man. I am Mellow said, it's too late and they don't see it coming. It's never too late. It's damn late, but it ain't too late. You got to realize this thing is all cyclical. We've been to all this before. It's just the transference of the information that's acquired from having had the experiences. That's not happening effectively. The information is not being transferred from one generation to another. Motherfuckers are too quick to want to move away from the harsh truths of their realities. The moment they get $2, they want to turn around and act like none of the funky shit ever happened.
Oh, nigga, I ain't never been broke. I ain't never. Nigga, I been had money.
Exactly.
I been had that shit.
Right.
I just didn't act like I had it. I just.
Right. Exactly. Psychosis, like a mother. Make hard men. Hard men make easy times. Easy times make soft men. Soft men bring about hard times. And here we go again. Juice Team Media, thank you for tapping in as always, man. Still Mio 89, Big Boo Daddy, what's happening? It's Krill Zethos. What's going on, Krill Zethos Montillos, what's happening? Gabe Gibbs. I think now I'm not sure because I've never seen this before. Gabe Gibbs, but that might be my guy. Jim Jones, might be not the rapper Jim Jones. Another gentleman who've been working on a project with for the last 4 years or so. A documentary that turned about him and it turned into a series. But he's the guy responsible for the video vixen. He's the one responsible for putting strippers in rap videos. He's the guy that created that. Monique Latisse, thanks for tapping in, Monique. We appreciate you. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. sharp Eastern Standard Time. So tap in and also go to my site. And my site is themindplugacademy.com. Go, cop a shirt, cop a hoodie, you know what I'm saying? A bag, a book, an audio book, something. What up, Earl Taylor? Thanks for tapping in. As always, Earl Taylor Sr. YBE, the label. Thank you. BX Julito. What's going on, BX Julito? Tom. What's happening, Tom? Brian, who's this? Brian Nelson. Brian D. Nelson. Brian D.L. Nelson. I assume that's D.L. Nelson. What's going on, Brian D.L. Nelson? Thanks for tapping in with us, man. Never seen you here before. Thank you. Hope to see you again soon. Junior 9984 Thanks for tapping in with us. Wheat 238. I appreciate you. They go Ed right there. You said you tried, Ed? I didn't see nothing. I didn't see anything. So let's do it on Thursday. All right, do it on Thursday. Okay, so yep, I think I got everybody. I hollered everybody out. I appreciate everybody, man. We both appreciate y'all. Oh, man of honor for life. Okay, I didn't see you before. All right, thanks for tapping in. Sonny Jordan. Thank you, Coach of God. I'll go Buyer CEO 2014. My Baltimore bro. What's happening, family? Damn. L.A. McCoy. Shit. There's a lot of motherfuckers I didn't see. Jay Wed made a comment that I didn't get a chance to tap into. Jay Wed 3000 said, that's why we think the people who are living wrong are winning. In a lot of cases, they are at least look like it. Yeah, that's right. See, the thing is, if you don't have a measurement for winning, then you can't really make that determination. You don't have a real measurement for winning. What is winning? What is it? Attention? Most people think attention is winning. That's why you can get tricked. Most people think attention is winning. But winning, first and foremost, is having real, actual, strong, loving, harmonious, peaceful, respectful connections with your friends, with your family, with your lovers. That's what that's about. Firstly, if you ain't got that, no matter what else you got, you ain't really got shit. I can tell you, I've had it all. And until I had true, genuine, meaningful, actual connections, and I prioritized those to the point where they took precedence over everything else that had to be nurtured and taken care of, I didn't actually have anything. I had shit that came and went. That's what I had. So, yeah. Ask yourself, what do you think winning is? That's a very important, critical question. DJ Costa Chef, what's happening? Thank you for tapping in. Jay Webb was on it today. Jay Webb said, regular everyday people lie, cheat, steal, etc. all the time. There's no consequences. Yeah, there are consequences. There are consequences to bad behavior, brother. When I say bad behavior, I don't mean illegal behavior. I mean behavior that is in the context of whatever the circumstances are, bad, because you violated a trust, you broke a bond, you betrayed a bond, lying to people whom have afforded you their trust. That's bad behavior. Cheating people who have given you their trust, that's bad behavior. Stealing from people who have given you their trust, that's bad behavior. You won't get away with that. You know why you won't get away with it? Because you won't stop until you are met with consequences. You won't stop. You won't say, got that off, I'll never do that shit again. You'll say, got that off, I'm gonna do that shit again and again and again until I get so comfortable doing it that I stop really paying the degree of attention I should be paying when I'm doing it. And I'm sloppy and I'm open. And that's when I'm gonna lose. That's when I'm gonna deal with the consequences. And everything, and this is something that my uncle taught me. It's something Butch Cassidy taught me one day. and it was profound. It stuck with me. He said, you can make one mistake, one bad decision, and end up paying for it. Because of his level of education, because of his level of success, because of his level of intelligence, I took the things he said to heart, because I realized that I was getting uncommon insight from an uncommonly gifted and extraordinary human being. I didn't take that for granted. That's not an everyday occurrence, even for someone who was surrounded by the extraordinary level of individuals that I was. There's levels to extraordinary, you know. Everything you ever did, you could end up paying for it by making one mistake. That had a lot to do with me moving the way that I did when I was in the street. The degree of caution and discipline and self-control that I was moving with in the street, because I kept that in my mind. No matter how many times I got away with it, I understood that all I had to do was make one misstep, and all of the shit I got away with, I could end up paying a price for. When people truly violate, there are consequences. There are consequences. There are circumstances under which, depending on the dynamics, lying is acceptable, cheating is acceptable, stealing is acceptable. That's the truth of it. But if you don't know when and where, what is or isn't acceptable, then you will deal with the consequences. You will not get it. You will pay. Take that for what it's worth. K Moss C Moss Life. What's going on, K Moss? Keeping it healthy? I feel you. I feel you. That's right, Jay Wed. Jay Wed was tapped the fuck in. Jay Wed said, in some ways, the criminal world is more honest because there are more consequences than the civilian world. You have been paying attention, Jay Wed. You have been paying attention. Black Jag 70. Thanks for tapping in the We Poppin' Son. I'm Pop. That's Son. We do what we do, and nobody else does what we do. Suspect 231, and he spells suspect SUSPCT. It's like sus precinct 231. What's happening? Quan never lacking. What's up, Quan? Welcome back, Quan. Sir Flomac. Thanks for tapping in, Sir Flomac. You dig? That's right, Ed Earl. Indeed. King Solomon 217. Miss Me So Bless. What's up, Miss Me So Bless? Yeah, I guess that's it. McLovin 85, Queen Shin. Yeah, they tapping in. They tapping in. Slutty Boy. What up, Slutty Boy 1K? Slutty Boy is funny. That's a funny ass name right there. Slutty Boy. That is crazy as hell. My bro Ed. This nigga House of Super said, you know when politicians are lying? When their lips are moving. You're fucking right. There's nothing but a bunch of sociopaths and psychopaths in suits and pantsuits and shit like that. Y'all got to stop thinking that these people are a special breed of human being. They're not. They're regular motherfucking human beings, just like those fucked up ass, sucker ass motherfucking teachers and principals you had at your school and all that, whatever, doing all kinds of fuck shit. These are the same type of people, just in different places. Y'all have got to stop thinking you know things that you don't take the time to learn. You got to stop thinking that. You don't know who these people are, but you need to find out who they are because you have relinquished the control and the condition of your lives to these people. And it's only now becoming apparent to people that they can't be trusted with anything. These motherfuckers can't be trusted with an eggshell. And I don't think there's anything, well, eggshells are not completely worthless, but you know what I mean? Like they can't be trusted with the least amount of value. And they have access to like a lot of fucking value. You can't trust these motherfuckers with a penny, you know? But that's pretty much it. I think we got everybody. And it took 19 minutes to close, but we are closed. We're done. We're good for the evening. Thank you very much. You know, good night and God bless. No, that's Russell. Remember to think critically so you live wonderfully. Love you, son.
Love you too.
Peace.
Peace.